we'll wait to hear from the attorneys. So stay tuned. Tell everybody you know who left. To come back now. Stay tuned. What? Yeah.
Welcome back to beautiful scenic Burlington.
They're coming out.
We're here at the federal courthouse on Elmwood Avenue, where argument has been wrapped up in the the hearing for Rumeysa Ozturk, and we're gonna see someone may come out soon and speak.
I'm not. I'm actually.
We'll see. Thank you.
Down, and I said I'm gonna see if I can get in instead, because I don't know if anybody's there. So
You got in instead?
It's let's see if we're allowed on the grass here. I don't know.
My sense of what there probably is like, it sounds like
There's a microphone stand set up there.
questions of like whether like maybe it's cold but that would be and then he also could he said he's kind of on board with the idea for like before that but it's not but either way, I don't know the difference. So, yeah. It's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's super, it's like immigration law and like, it's like complicated. Because like the feeling of the course is like, it is, and even the judge was like, it's really complicated, and it's his whole job, you know. So yeah, but it's right because she has a crisis immigration proceeding, so it's like there's this proceeding.
It's 12:16 on April 14th.
No, and so this process is like, this challenge is like, should she be in detention? But it's complicated because she's in detention. The government says she's in detention for the immigration case. But like they're saying
And the media is out in force today.
It's so messy. Yeah, it's like, sure can. good. Yeah. It's also, yeah, it's just like, it's cool. It's like, it's such a long drive. And like, if I didn't have like this natural,
And the crowd is much smaller than this morning. Still a bunch of people here.
yeah, I just
Somebody brought pizza.
oh,
Anybody want pizza? You know, the attorneys are on their way, and I think we plan to make statements from the petitioner side at least. If you don't mind, just give me a second to kind of get situated. We just appreciate that. Thank you.
Should I say that? Yeah. Mic check. So the lawyers will be coming out soon. And we are requesting silence when they speak to the reporters. After that, we're inviting them to speak to us on our powerful mic. So silence now. Cheers later. Hang on.
All right, we got the latest update. Orders are coming soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
After many hours of waiting, people are getting excited.
I just think it's like so fascinating seeing the process play out. And it's like, it's these like things in relation to the state. I mean, there's like
That's like, and then I'm not sure if your Sanskrit questions would be.
probably okay. Vermont Digger. In Vermont.
Yeah.
I was like, I really want to have some of my players here. I don't want it to be boring. My advisor was like, you still need topics at this time. Even if your transition sounds confused, we need to know what's happening in this paragraph.
stress is confusion around her kid.
Yes.
That's what I thought too. Why do you
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out today to be here to support Rumeysa Ozturk. She is a beautiful soul who has unfortunately been detained in some very difficult conditions, all for writing an op-ed about children, about peace, about dignity and human rights for all. She wants me to greatly extend her appreciation for all of you being out here to support her, for all that you've done in terms of advocating for free speech, for the freedom of Palestinian people. And ultimately, unfortunately, the heart of what's happening is that she is stuck in detention for an op-ed. The government hasn't presented any evidence to support this, but for some memos that talk about the op-ed. And so the fact that she's sitting in detention now for over 2 weeks is heartbreaking to me and to all of us as Americans, because that's not what our country stands for. And what she has always stood for is to stand up for children, to make sure that they live in a peaceful, loving environment. And she continues to advocate for that now while detained, and is always seeking to uplift what other women in the detention facility are facing. And it just goes to show what an amazing, loving human being she is, and I hope we all continue to advocate for her to be released as soon as possible. Thank you.
Sean, do you have her name? Do you have her name?
Mahsa Kanbabi, MAHSAKHANBABAI.
Thank you.
So the legal team is going to take some questions about the hearing.
This has the eyes of the whole country on this right now. What are the national implications if she continues to be detained? This could have a ripple effect. Can you explain that?
One of our arguments to court is one of the things that is so detrimental about these cases, of course, the ongoing harm that Rumeysa herself is experiencing, the chill that she is experiencing in terms of her speech, the disruption in terms of her ability to continue her education. And of course, this also is sending a very clear message from the government that if you speak in a way that the administration disagrees with, you face the potential of punishment. And it's one of the reasons why Ms. Ozturk is fighting so hard for her release, so that other people don't have to experience this, because we know that's not the way that we live in this country.
Can you tell us your name and how to spell it?
Jessie Rossman, Jessie, Rossman, Rossman.
Where do you go from now? Like, what happens next?
Well, the arguments that we made before the court today was arguing for Rumeysa's immediate release, and in the alternative, having her returned to Vermont so that the proceedings can continue. The court took that under advisement, and we're going to wait to hear from the court. But I think one of the things that is so critical is we have seen both in the District of Massachusetts and in the District of Vermont how seriously the courts are taking this issue and how quickly they are moving. And that's incredibly important, because every single day that Rumeysa remains in detention is a violation of her constitutional rights.
Do you have any sense of the judge's potential timeline on this, or when his decision might come out?
We know that the court has been moving expeditiously on this case, and we anticipate that he will continue to do so.
Obviously, the goal is immediate release, but would you take a win if she comes back here? It's obviously a step forward.
Every single step in this case is a step forward to making sure that Rumeysa ultimately gets released and gets to return to her community in Tufts, who I think many people have seen the nearly 24 declarations that were submitted from people throughout her community. This is harming not just Rumeysa, but the entire community at Tufts, which is really feeling their absence. They need her home.
Do you have concerns about the federal government how the federal government is handling detainees in Vermont facilities or evading disclosure of the location of where detainees are being held?
Well, what we saw in this case that was concerning to us was that there was the unusual practice of Rumeysa getting picked up in Massachusetts and then moved from Methuen to New Hampshire and then Vermont. And what numerous immigration experts who practice both in Massachusetts and throughout New England stated was this was extraordinarily unusual. This was something they had never seen, that they had never heard of happening. Practitioners here in Vermont said they had never seen someone held at a facility from out of state overnight at the St. Albans facility. And we think that's part and parcel of our argument here, which is that what happened to Rumeysa is not ordinary immigration enforcement. This is part of a policy of punishing people because of their protected speech.
Okay, one more.
If I can say just one thing to echo what Attorney Kambale said, is that Rumeysa is aware of the support that is here in Vermont and Massachusetts and throughout the country, and that's something that's extraordinarily important to her.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank God I'll be here, didn't
If you want to speak to the crowd, you have a microphone.
Not in the street, please.
You'll be able to hear, don't worry.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming today, for the outpouring of support from Rumeysa, who honestly I think as we all can feel the pain and the hurt that she must be going through being detained in an all-women's for-profit prison. Can you hear me now? Sorry, better now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all so much for coming. I think we can all feel the pain and just trying to imagine what it must be like to be detained in an all-women's for-profit detention facility. I mean, when I think about what she's going through, it pains me to my core, especially because it's based on free speech, on speaking for human dignity for all. And I think as Americans, that's all we want. We teach our children to stand up and to say something when they see something wrong. And that's what she did. And now she's been put into this facility for asking for human rights for all, for Palestinian children who continue to be bombed upon to this day, innocently. And she is a teacher. She is an educator. She loves children and wants to make sure that they grow up in a healthy environment. And her advocacy for that has led to this. And we must stand up to the administration related to this effort to silence people's free speech. Who ever thought that we would see someone put into jail, into a prison, for speaking up for human rights for children? I am shocked. And please continue to advocate for her, to stand up for her, to stand up for all of the others who are being persecuted, from Mahmoud Khalil to Suri Badr Khan, to Sunying Chung. We must continue our efforts to make sure that we are a land of free speech and constitutional rights. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Ideas are not illegal, and that is what we're all here to fight for today. I think one of the strongest indications of the importance of this case is if you look at the op-eds that have been published recently in the Tufts newspapers, if you look at the proposed amicus briefs that have been filed in this court, people who agree with Rumeysa's speech and people who disagree with Rumeysa's speech all agree that she has a constitutionally protected right to have that speech. And that's what this case is about. I think if there's one thing that each of us can do is if you can please share with someone in your life who has not yet seen it, ask them to read Rumeysa's op-ed.
Yes.
And ask them to watch the video of her arrest. The stark contrast between those two things is chilling, and everyone needs to know that this is happening so they can say that it has to stop. Thank you very much.
Let's give big cheers to the people's lawyers. Free Rumeysa now! 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 All right, everybody, I know it's been a long morning, but we did the right thing to turn out to support Rumeysa. Every time she has a hearing, we will be here. We will be here in solidarity. Because we know justice is not given. It is won by us in struggle. And we are going to fight to free Rumeysa from Louisiana, from Vermont, so she can return to Tufts and continue her studies in pride, dignity, standing up for the children she adores. So everybody mobilize today, but mobilization is not enough. We have to be organized. People who are not yet in the Vermont Coalition for Palestinian Liberation, come to our meeting this coming Saturday the 19th at 1 p.m. at the Quaker Meeting House, because we are going to be organizing solidarity with Rumeysa here in Vermont. People who can, come to the rally up at the University of Vermont, where students, faculty, and staff will be rallying to defend higher education this Thursday at noon at the Bailey Library. Then, as everybody knows, the Burlington City Council is going to be voting on whether we have free speech in Burlington or not. On the 28th, in the City Council meeting, we need everybody and their friends to come and testify in support of freedom of speech. The choice between the Burlington City Council is, are they with Trump or are they with democracy? The Democratic Party is being put to a test. They have voted against Palestine every single time. This time, they must vote for freedom of speech and our democratic rights to free Rumeysa and to free Mahmoud Khalil. We will not stop until we defend these people and our democracy in this country. Finally, May 1st in Williston at 5 p.m. at the green in front of the Majestic Theater at the bandstand, we are going to be assembling, marching on the ICE data facility, and then rallying with migrant justice at Hannaford Supermarket. This is a day of worker solidarity, defense of immigrants, defense of Palestine, defense of Palestinian solidarity.
Are you here to counter-protest?
Defense of trans people, defense of women.
I just think it's stupid that everybody's flying Palestine flags. We're in America.
We will not let anybody be attacked. We will defend everybody.
I can't stand Israel or Palestine.
Fight to free Rumeysa Ozturk. Free Rumeysa
Do you know what this is about?
Free Rumeysa now.
Well, all I see is a bunch of Palestinian flags and people like trying to dress as terrorists.
No, the woman who has been arrested for writing an article in Tufts University.
I don't care about all that. Don't touch it.
I'm sorry. That's why they have the flag. But I don't care what the woman said, who she was, and I'm not here for that reason. I'm here because we have free speech.
I just see a bunch of wannabe terrorists.
Oh, please. You know, Hamas is a terrorist.
I don't care about Israel or Palestine.
Okay, but
All I see is a bunch of anti-Americans with Palestinian flags.
Pro-American. Well, here.
Then why don't they have American flags?
I didn't bring one myself. Did you? I mean, I'm telling you that this is about free speech. I don't care what the
Well,
woman
I have free
said.
speech, and I think they're all being deported to Palestine. All you people are being deported.
You think that you have free speech? We think there exists free speech, but people are getting arrested for saying anything. Okay, that they don't.
So
that
there's
Trump doesn't like.
political persecution against Trumpsters too. People.
No, it's not political persecution. This is like people being picked up by agents and thrown into prisons.
Well, I mean,
So
if they're
pay
here
attention.
illegally, they should be
No,
deported
she's
anyway.
not here illegally.
I don't know anything about
Well,
that woman.
That's why you need to know. That's all
I'm just
saying. You need to
I'm
know
just
what
commenting
this is
on the
about.
ridiculous flags and face masks and LARPing as terrorists. That's all I'm commenting.
Okay, but that's not what this is about. So please read up about it. It's the woman.
Well, he was talking smack about Trump. That's my president. I love Trump.
Great, but you know what? You've got to understand what's going on under Trump with free speech. Okay? If you ever decide there's something he does.
You're meaning to tell me the last 4 years were.
Can I finish? If you ever decide, as much as you're in favor of Trump, that there's something you don't like he does, and you speak out about it, you can get picked up off the street and thrown in jail. That's what's happening. So God bless you.
God bless
Stay
you.
for, stand up for who you want, but don't misinterpret what this is about. This is totally about free speech. You cannot.
If they were flying American flags, I'd be all for it.
But you can't control people to show up for whatever. Now there's a woman with an American flag on her sign right there. Free speech, free Rumeysa. Okay? I'm sorry to say it. I don't have an American flag to bring with me.
You probably have a
No,
Palestine.
I don't. No, I don't. You've got enough that everybody knows with people you don't understand.
Well, look, everybody's all advocacy. It's the same idiots who are protesting. The same people. And was she leading a lot of the protests?
No,
Is that
she
why?
wasn't in any protest. She was not. Read up about her because you need to understand what this
And
is about.
she's arrested. She's in jail, right?
She has been taken from her. Look online at information. You will see the video where she is walking to dinner after work, all dressed up nicely, and these plain clothes cops in masks come and take her, and they ship her to
Kind of
Louisiana.
like what they did to all the January 6ers, right?
I'm telling you, this is about a free speech, peaceful, nothing else. It really is. And you
Well, I don't know the whole
can't-
story, so I mean, there could be a legit reason to why she's locked up.
Well, read the whole true story, okay? There is not a legit reason. If you believe in the free speech and the Constitution, there is not a reason. There is not. You can even read the article that she wrote.
I believe if you're flying a flag anything other than American, then you're un-American.
You really?
Right.
Really?
In the same,
a Canadian flag?
it's
you
just
would really?
a Canadian. I'm talking about like
Just think.
you're picking sides in a war. Obviously, all these people flying Palestinian flags are also
That I will
perpetuating
tell you, I know
war by
several.
rooting Ukraine on.
No,
And both countries are a losing battle.
Let
So
me just say one thing, okay? I don't want to get into all this whole thing. This issue is about having the right to say what you want to say in the U.S. with no protesting. An op-ed piece she wrote in the paper disagreeing with the university's decision about the way they were treating people who are protesting. And the university has come out in favor of getting her released and says she never should have been through. Everybody is saying that. So that's why this is so crazy. But you know, the other thing to know, I know several of the people who do have Palestinian flags, and I'm part Jewish, okay?
I don't care about
Married to
either
Jews.
side.
Well, I'm
honestly.
just saying, so I'm not on either side.
It-
but
it's-
it has to do with the
It's a conflict that's been going on since the beginning of time.
But it has to do with the bombing of civilians. You know, everybody wants to move out of here. But listen, do me a favor. My name is Deb. I don't mean to be. I just want you to know about this case and what this is about.
Yeah, and they're blocking everybody from getting their mail too in peace. But I see they're dispersed now anyway.
Well, they could get their mail. People want it.
I think
You're misreading a lot.
I just think everybody who's been protesting since the Occupy Wall Street movement are idiots, in my opinion.
Okay, well, that's your right to have that opinion. We're good, yeah? Okay? That's your right.
Yeah, focus on your own country and the love of your own country instead of flying flags for.
That's your right. That's your right.
All right, have a
And
nice
I will
day.
tell you, I hope everything works out fine, but again, if you ever come across something you don't like that Trump does and you say something about it, right now the way things are, you're in danger of being picked up and thrown in jail. That's
I am?
just what's happened. Yeah, if you say something negative about him.
Okay.
So we're starting at like the Country Place Plaza, where they've got that green space.
I think it's
All right. So, guess we'll wrap up here. From the federal courthouse on Elmwood Avenue. Goodbye from beautiful scenic Burlington.